Emilia, let's go around and speak about this great adventure of the cuisine communautaire. Let's walk.
Okay. It's not much to walk, so the same way we walk in, we're walking out. And the story of this you probably know.
No,
So
tell
no,
me
you
again.
don't. Okay. Ilya come when he first come to Paris, to Dina, Vierny, and has idea for this installation. He also brought a lot of garbage with him. All these pens and pots and whatever you can imagine. It was a big box. And first thing Dina said to him, why did you bring it in? We have tons of it here. Everywhere. You can go and buy it for nothing.
Yes.
But Ilya said, this is authentic. I really want it here. And she was astonished because he didn't understand why he had to bring it when we have French exactly the same.
But what show was it?
This show.
No,
this
but what year?
idea,
In what year? What date?
Oh my God, it was 1987.
Okay. And he was coming from where?
He came from Austria. He was in Austria at Peter Pakish. He got a grant from Ministry of Culture. He was there, and then he came here to visit Dina. Then we were planning exhibition, another exhibition, because first exhibition Dina made, Ilya wasn't here.
Okay.
And it was done one day before Jean Hubert opened in Switzerland, in Bern.
Jean-Hubert Martin.
Yes.
Okay.
And Ilya and his friends went to the forest to
Yes.
celebrate the opening, and they calculated the time, and they cut the ribbon, and they drink champagne, except that they mix up the time. They forgot that it's not the same time, it's a different time. I think we shouldn't go here because it's just, it's exit.
Ah, it's already exit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's just stay here. Right?
Okay. And so, what's the story of this piece? The story of this piece.
Of this piece. Then he came up with the idea for this kitchen. I mean, he explained it to Dina. He brought, that was already done. He brought these albums with conversation and communal kitchen. And the idea was that, what if we build communal kitchen here permanently? Dina immediately became very excited. She was a very enthusiastic person, and you could excite her very easily when things come to art. And she said, yes, we're going to build it. And at that time, she had the idea to build Museum of Mayol and Fondation and everything. And there was a few smaller pieces, communal kitchen, which like 4 paintings, tables, without sound. Maybe some music, but no sound. In this case, there was also tape, which was done by Ilya and his friends, conversation and voices in communal kitchen. And
the conversation is about what?
About common conversation of women or even men who are in a kitchen, they talking to each other. Communal kitchen was a place when people from communal apartment met actually every day, a few times a day, when women cook, when men come to eat, when they have some conversation on the way to the toilet. It was the only place they really communicate. So there was scandal, there were complaints, there was some kind of personal, intimate conversation about what happened in my family. My husband is cheating. I don't know what to do. Should I divorce or not divorce? My child has a diarrhea. Or whatever you can imagine was there. Did you throw away the garbage? Why didn't you throw away the garbage? We all throw away the garbage. You go to the toilet, you always forget to shut off the light. Anything that comes to your mind from common conversation between 2 people or 3 people or 4 people or 5 people, because a communal apartment sometimes was 3 rooms, sometimes 7 rooms, sometimes 8 rooms. Bourgeois apartments, which were transformed into, after revolution, as a place for many families to live. So each family get 1 room, 1 bathroom for everybody, and 1 toilet for everybody, and 1 kitchen. In this kitchen, that could be up to 7, 8 stoves. So if they do washing, the clothes, they hang it over.
Wow.
On the ropes.
And in fact, it's kind of a gigantic communist ready-made, no?
Maybe. It was an installation. It was total installation.
No, but
Created
here
by
it's a
communists.
ready-made.
It is ready-made, but I would also say there was a fantastic total installation. People accept that it was real and people was forced to live in it. I had an episode when the first time I went to see Ilya's work in Europe, and then I was returning from the airport, taxi driver who was black.
Yes.
He's driving me and we start talking. Usually I have a very good record talking to taxi drivers. And I explained him that I saw this communal apartment, what idea of communal apartment is, people live together. He said, are you serious? People live together in one apartment, each family has a room and one toilet and one bathroom? I said, yes. He stopped the car and he said, lady, you're kidding me. Nobody lives like that. And I was astonished because we're in America, there's a lot of homeless people. The guy who is driving me, obviously not rich, he's a taxi driver, but in his mind, nobody lived like this. There was also at some point where Ilya and I was given a talk at some public speech, and one woman stand up and she said, I don't understand why you're complaining, what's so terrible about it. When we were young, we had commune in California and we all lived together in an apartment. I said, one little detail, did you want to live like this? Yes. I said, that's a difference. You want to live like this. People that come in an apartment didn't. They were forced into this lifestyle.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a big difference. You want to do something and you're happy there, or you don't want to do something, somebody force you. And that was a forced way of life, that nobody wanted to be there.
And what is written around?
It's the same phrases that I told you about. It's about conversation.
Every day.
Like little escape, little phrases from common conversation between people. They could say, come here, my darling, to a baby. I will go and wipe you behind.
That's
Or
cool.
why did you put him and do his things here? I know he's small, but you can do it in your room.
And you think that Ilya was giving a message through this work?
For Ilya, the message was that that all Soviet Union is a communal apartment. The people live, they forced to live together. They forced to be a community, everybody is the same. Equality is not a thing you have to force on people if they're not equal. I didn't say this, Angelo said. But it's actually true. They try to make equal different people from different ways of life, different meanings, different goals. Never mind that, let's say, parents and newlywed live in one room. What about sex? It is impossible. And Ilya actually also complained about things like this. He said he married to have sex. And it was impossible because my mother-in-law was living in the same room.
Terrible.
Terrible, but reality. So here people are talking and you see little, pieces of their conversation. But at the same time, I think there is supposed to be a singing. The story of this is also very interesting because when Dina started building a museum, she had to dig this space.
She has to dig it?
It wasn't here. 8 meters into the ground.
Wow.
And she dig and she built, she found something there. But I'm not going to tell you what. And
Dead body.
I'm not telling you what it is.
A treasure.
Maybe. Not gold, that I promise you, but it was a treasure anyway. And she built this kitchen and then she left it to the foundation. And so it's like a memory to the whole style of life, to the generations which was forced to live like this. They hate each other, but they also help each other a lot. There's a lot of episodes. My parents live in the apartment like this. First, they live in the apartment where Ilya's ex-wife lived with her child. They had one room in this apartment. Then they actually got another room in a communal apartment. In this apartment was 4 rooms. One person never was there, just kept apartment, we didn't even know who there was. One person was ex-prostitute before revolution, because this building was a red district building. And the other person was contemporary prostitute. So we had one who was always complaining the other prostitute, because she by now was on pension, retired. She's not a prostitute. The other is prostitute because every morning you go to the bathroom, there is a couple of men standing in line there, waiting for the turn. It was horrible because you don't want to go to the toilet after them. You
Wow.
have to flush. And in the kitchen, always they were fighting, all three of them. My mom always was mediator because she had a very good character. But let's say they all fight, right? But one day, and the third person was fantastic. I don't remember who she was, but she was fantastic weaver and seamstress. She made all my clothes. And even when I immigrate, everybody was asking me who is the designer. I was a designer, but she made it. And it was impeccable done.
So
everything.
there were nice stories also.
And one day, my father was supposed to be arrested. They were looking at him, KGB, and he was hiding. And suddenly telephone, there was one telephone for the whole apartment, for everybody. Telephone rings. And a woman who was a prostitute at our time, pick up the phone. She knows that my father not supposed to be there. She see KGBs doing search in our room. She picked up the telephone and she said, wrong number. She knows my father. Put back the phone. He calls again. He doesn't understand. She said, wrong number. Put on the phone. Down the phone. He called again. She said, you idiot. If I'm telling you it's a wrong number, it's a wrong number. Don't call here again. See?
Wow.
Second episode. Another search in our apartment. We are in the room. KGB walk in and they ask our neighbors to be witnesses to this search. They all went into the room and closed the doors. But one who was before prostitute grabbed from our hanging all our fur coats, ours, took it to her room and said, everybody walking here, we don't know who they are. And then coats disappear and hide them. And so you see, there is some kind of, and they didn't want to be witnesses to this search, and KGB has to have witnesses. So they had to go to another apartment when people didn't know us and bring them. Because in our apartment, everybody refused to come.
Bon,